2022, and we're continuing with our casual format. So I've got Kevin here with me today, and we're just gonna chat about what's going on, and answer some questions from the community and things like that.
What's up, everybody? Long time no see.
Yeah, well, we've been a little late with this one. We've been trying to do the town halls on the first Saturday of every month, but we've slowly been pushing them back. And I think I think we're thinking about actually moving the town halls to the end of the month, right?
Yeah, I think that what we've seen is involvement wise, we can have more involvement at the end of the month. And also with our newsletter going out, I think it sort of bookends the month very well.
Okay, that sounds good. Cool.
So that's definitely something we'll have to give a try to.
Yeah,
Trying out a few different formats to see which works the best for us.
thankfully we haven't had a lot of complaints when we've been late with our town halls. So
No,
this
luckily people are pretty good about that. They understand.
cool. So I guess we don't really have an agenda, but we're kind of following the same format that we usually follow. So we like to welcome new team members and give a shout out to people who been contributing, and
Yeah.
talk about what we've been doing and what we plan on doing next. So let's just go through some of these things. Huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So last month we had Thomas join, right?
Yeah, Thomas is a new recruit that we had join us.
He introduced himself in a couple of town halls. So if you go back a couple of months, you'll see him on here asking
Yeah,
questions.
he's definitely been around for quite a while now.
Yeah, yeah. So he hasn't onboarded yet, but he's really eager to get in there and start doing some things um, in like the streaming space. He wants to show off Mythic Table and do some games in Mythic Table, which is fantastic. So
Yeah, we're always excited about showing Mythic Table off to as many people as we can.
yeah, absolutely. So welcome aboard, Thomas. We hope to see great things from you soon. Um, and I guess for kudos, we have one pretty big kudos. Blaine joined us a couple months ago, or maybe, yeah, I think it was a couple months
Yeah, a
ago.
couple months now.
And he's been working on our website quite a bit. And, so our website is a Netlify Gatsby monstrosity, which is not an easy thing to learn. So kudos to Blaine for picking up and running with that. But what we really want to thank him for
Hmm.
is this. So a month ago or 2 months ago, we took a commitment to improve our onboarding process, and we haven't really had the time to do that. So as Blaine was rolling off some of his website work, he was like, "I want to get more involved in the Mythic Table code base. Like our onboarding is kind of not so great." And he's like, "All right, well, I can work on that." So that's what Blaine's been doing for the past week. Is he's been working on our onboarding process. He's going through it, updating the documentation, making everything clearer, and it's really fantastic. So a big thanks to Blaine for that. Um, we want to start using what he's got to really drive this process improvement. So it's really nice to have someone on that.
Yeah, he's taken a really big role in that, and I think the improvements he's made so far are just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, yeah, he's found some pretty big glaring error problems in our documentation, which is nice.
Yeah,
Um,
he's really taken a step forward in that respect for sure.
yeah, yeah, and if I understand correctly, he is pretty new to programming, so to be
Oh
able to
yeah.
just run with this is fantastic.
No, exactly. And it really just goes to show that you can get into Mythic Table and really come in, and if you have the drive, you can get somewhere and you can make things happen. He's really made a lot of positive improvements to the website so far. And I think the code base in general, he's going to positively contribute to moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be nice to have somebody assisting with the front end of things for a little while, um, which kind of leads me to our updates. Right, so we've been making a little bit of progress, but our progress has all been on the back end side of things, so nothing terribly visible at this point. Last month, we finished the first pass of the permissions API, which is going to allow people to eventually control how people can change their characters and maps and things like that. So once we get all of that plugged in to the front end, you'll get those kind of controls. But currently, the way it works, if you take a look on Edge, which is the only place that it's been deployed, is that there's no impact to the game. So yeah, we have this permission model which controls the access to all of your objects, but the default is an open permission, so that it still permits everything that we currently do. And this is really important because we don't want to break anyone's game as we roll this out. So that's pretty important.
Yeah, preferably not.
Yeah. Um, so that's coming soon. On the front end side of things, we got to do some design work around what the permissions UI is going to look like. We want it to be very simple and straightforward and easy to find and very
very streamlined.
But also give a lot of feedback too. So like if you're not able to move an object, we want you to know why you can't move that object or use that object or whatever. So that feedback can be pretty important.
Definitely.
So there's that. That's what we're going to be working on coming up soon. I don't know if we're going to get to it this month and next month, but hopefully soon. Unofficially, there's a possibility that Lucas might be coming back. Don't tell Lucas.
That would be exciting.
That would be super exciting. We absolutely miss him. If those of you who are just joining us recently, Lucas is our UI lead, and he's been swamped with his personal work, like his professional work right now. So he just hasn't had time
for a good reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And this happens. That's what happens when you're open source and nonprofit, and we can't afford to hire anybody. So, but he was a big part of the Kickstarter. He did all the videos for the Kickstarter, and he was a big part of the first playable. Like a lot of the UI that we're enjoying right now is all Lucas.
Yeah, and that would be a big help right now as we're moving forward with the permissions for sure.
Yeah, totally. And we also have another piece of big news, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about Keith?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about this because although Keith has sort of been taking on this role for, quite a few years now, realistically, he's decided to really step forward and has agreed that he's going to become a member of the lead team for Mythic Table. So we're really excited for that, for him to take his next steps toward whatever that means for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Keith he started with Mythic Table probably maybe a couple months into us going open source.
Yeah, wow.
He's been here since like the beginning. He's such a great developer to work with. He's young. He's very enthusiastic. He's extremely smart.
Very smart, yeah. Very quick too. Really, really quick.
And he's hardworking. He'll drop whatever he's doing and jump on a production issue or something like that. He's always been extremely dependable. So I'm absolutely pleased to have him step up and act in a lead role at Mythic Table.
Yeah, I remember when I was just starting, when I just joined Mythic Table, he was actually one of the first people I really saw who was contributing at a really deep level.
Yeah.
He's been really influential, and he's created a lot of what you see in Mythic Table. He's had his hand in.
He is single-handedly responsible for our authentication system.
Yeah, and that's a big system there. So
it's huge, right? Like he chose the system. He put it together. He helped with the deployment. He did all of that stuff. So that was a really big deal.
Yeah, really exciting.
So I guess the last update would be some of the work that we're doing with the DevOps lately, and that's coming along pretty well. We're halfway through the process. We're migrating a lot of our manual stuff over to Terraform, which is really nice. The last couple of days, I was able to get our Terraform project to completely instantiate a new project, a new cluster, and deploy a placeholder service to that cluster. Um, and this is going to be key to our infrastructure deployment as opposed to our application deployment, so that we can deploy new infrastructure just at a push of a button. And this will help with our security because we need to kind of redeploy different things. And Terraform allows us to do Delta deployments. So if one tiny thing changed, we change it in Terraform and push it out again. So we'll have Terraform supporting our entire infrastructure. And the individual environments are going to be placeholder environments in these clusters. It's going to be completely set up with our our workloaded entities, our DNS, all of that's going to be put into place. So it'll be ready for a Mythic Table deployment. The idea is we can change one system, it'll create a new environment that'll redeploy automatically with our infrastructure. And then when that's finished deploying, we can tell a branch, a Mythic Table, to just deploy to that. And then that's it. A new Mythic Table environment is born.
Yeah, that's exciting. Now, what, if anything, does that mean for the users themselves?
So it doesn't. It's going to bring the cost of Mythic Table down, which is pretty exciting. But another thing is, our infrastructure has always been private. Like, we have been open about everything, but for a number of reasons, we have been private about our infrastructure, and that's mainly been for security reasons. But as we move to Terraform, we can actually release the Terraform modules that we're using. And we're like, okay, well, if you want to stand up Mythic Table on your own in its own environment and run it like we do at Mythic Table, you can do that.
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
Which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and we have had a lot of people asking about how they can actually get their hands on Mythic Table and run it on their own environments. So that's a big step forward.
So this is interesting. This goes a little bit beyond running it running a local server. This is a step beyond running a local server. This is cloud infrastructure. So this is, if you want to start a company and sell Mythic Table, don't do that.
It's open source, probably won't go well for you, but
yeah, but you could do it. I mean, if you wanted to learn about DevOps and things like that, you could start with Mythic Table.
Oh yeah, it's a great way to learn. You can take things apart and see how they work. And
yeah, absolutely. But this is all part of us being kind of a little bit more open and things like that. So we need to make some security changes, make sure that any certificates that we have in the repository are invalidated. And then once that's done, we can open up the repository and you guys can play around. Well, not play around. You guys can take it and play around with it yourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't play around with our infrastructure.
Yeah, please.
That would be bad.
Yeah, we're not open for that. We're open for a lot, but not that.
Yeah. But if you want to come join the DevOps team at Mythic Table, we'd be happy to have you.
Yeah, please do. Let us know.
Cool. All right. So, what's next? Plans?
Yep, plans. What are our plans moving forward? First and foremost, workflow improvements is sort of what I've been working on currently. Trying to get a lot of our processes to work better and more cleanly with each other, so that moving forward, new people to joining the team, as well as seasoned veterans, are all on the same page. So I really think that's going to be helpful for us.
Yeah, and you're using Monday.com for that?
Yeah, Monday.com. It's a really powerful software as a service that we're actually granted a nonprofit account through digitallift.org. So that was really generous of them.
Nice.
Basically, Monday.com is like a project management, but it really goes above and beyond that when you get to the core. So that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a testament of how interesting and how expressive or powerful Monday.com is, that I'm actually willing to let go of GitLab being our project management source.
Yeah.
GitLab is super simple. It's super easy. It's all integrated, and well, we don't really want to spend a lot of effort in this area. But if Monday.com is going to give us the power that that you believe it's going to give us, then that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and it integrates really well with GitLab, for example, too, as well as other software that we use, such as Slack for our team communications and things like that. So I really think that's a positive position to be in as well.
Yeah.
What other plans do we have?
So I think we're still continuing to move the big ship forward. Permissions and the UI side of permissions is pretty important. We've got to get this onboarding stuff worked out. Um, we want to finish off the DevOps work. So we've got a lot of pokers in the fire.
Yeah, I think the roadmap too is one that's somewhat on the horizon coming up for us.
Yeah, it would be nice because we still have that. Did we take that roadmap offline?
Yeah, we did take that offline. We're actually Blaine's going to be updating some of the copy in a little bit to reflect sort of some of the changes we've made that hasn't been reflected in the copy yet. But yeah, the roadmap is currently down.
Okay.
The previous one.
That's great. Awesome. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for our plans.
Can you tell us maybe a bit more about what Sarah's working on? I know she's getting more into her role there.
Yeah. So Sarah is still ramping up on the production side. So one of the things that we're hoping Sarah can do is as we start getting the onboarding going and more developers working, Sarah's major role is making sure that we're all on track and on focused. So she's going to do things such as managing our milestones, managing our workflow, making sure that we don't have any blockers, just handling the communication side of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's project management kind of thing. And in a project that's got only volunteers and doesn't really have budget, project management is a kind of a funny little thing with its own special
Yeah.
challenge.
Very fundamental, but niche.
It's it's tricky. It's tricky. It's nice not to have to worry about really tight deadlines and budgets, but
Yeah.
it's hard to herd cats sometimes.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So yeah, that's what Sarah signed up for. She is our official cat.
Yeah. Yeah, she signed the documents. We didn't force her.
That's right. That's right. That's canon now.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So did we get any feedback or suggestions or questions from the community this month?
No, we haven't had any questions or that I've been able to pick up this month. It's been sort of a slow month in the community. People are, getting ready for the upcoming nice weather, I believe.
Oh yeah, it's starting to turn nice around here, which is great.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Cool. Then I guess that's pretty much it. I guess we can talk about
Yeah.
you guys interested in helping out, joining Mythic Table.
Yeah, if you want to get involved, we would love to have you. Entry level positions right up to, top of the top, whatever you can bring.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll find a way for you to get involved if you're interested.
So how would they get in touch with us? What's the best way for them to reach out?
Well, that actually brings up a good point. Right now, the best way to reach out is to join us on Discord. You can go discord.io/Mythic Table, and you can either DM myself, Shield, or you can DM Mark, or post in any of the channels, and one of our users will help you figure out what you need to figure out. But we're actually going to be rolling out a form soon that's built into Monday.com that'll allow us to really allow people to express their interest in joining the team. So it's gonna allow them to sort of provide us some more information and help us place you in the team. So that'll be helpful too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So I'm hoping I'll have that form rolled out by the end of the month.
Nice. That's great.
So yeah,
Okay.
come and get involved and let us know what you can do, and let us know how we can help you, because that's a big part of this too, is that, you know, we want you to feel like you are also getting something out of your experience here, and we would love to help in any way we can. um, we have mentors, you know, ready to go across all sectors of Mythic Table, so hop in and get involved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't be shy.
Yeah, that's something that I think Blaine has really learned well, is that, you know, if you really want to put your foot forward, then we're really willing to help you, and we'll, you know, help you evolve to wherever you want to be.
Yep. Yeah, I like that about Mythic Table.
Yeah, exactly. Really
Oh,
community driven that way.
okay. I guess if that is it,
Nobody here to ask any questions, I guess.
yeah, it's a quiet one. It is a quiet one. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody.
Been a good
And
overview.
yeah, we'll see you next month.
See you soon.